Hey guys, how are you today? It's me, Rosalind, with High Vibrations. I haven't been on here, I think it's been about 3 weeks, so I'm really behind, but we haven't been together in a few weeks. And there's some things that I've been doing on the backside, but some things that I've been working on. It kept bringing me back to what most of us always do. And I got a quick question for you, and that is, are you waiting around for the right time to get started on what it is that you could be working on for your future? And the reason I ask you that question is because that's one of the things when it comes down to rediscovering yourself, you tend to take a whole lot of a lot of time sitting down, waiting, looking, trying to show yourself approved almost, and that is not what we should be doing. A few days ago, I put up a post on social media, and I said what I wrote was, if I can find it, I said, start where you are with what you have, and with that, I said to myself, I'm like, wow. When I typed it, because I put a little message down at the bottom because it's not just that, because I think what we do is we give ourselves excuses not to show up 100%, just go all in like we the bosses. Okay, we show up, and we what the way we normally come in is soft and a small presence, and hi everyone if you see me, or hey y'all. Just we do things coming in softly instead of coming in full force. And I'm going to find that post real quick because I want to read it to you, because I need you to really understand why we're here today. Um, I have I have been in places where I actually didn't really know how to act. I dumbed myself down because I didn't. And when I say know how to act, when I say that, it's because I've spent a lot of my life living in low self-esteem and no confidence. So when you do things like that for so long, and you've done the growth and you've done that turnaround, and you are becoming the person that God created you to be, now it's like, oh my, I have been doing all the wrong things, and I think I skipped over it. But it is, if you guys just give me a second, as you guys wait for me to find this thing, I want you guys to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And if this is your first time, say this is my first time. And if you've been with me for a while, then just say, we've been, Roz, I know who you are. Here it is right here. And I say, you've heard the saying, do what you can with what you have where you are, right? We've heard that several times. I don't, we're throwing that out of the window. I say do more, because the dumbing down has to stop. It just, there's no room for it anymore. We're running out of time. I'm 54 years old and I don't have a lot of time to take things. So we got to speed this process up. We've got to speed up who we are, who we are. So don't wait to show up. Don't wait. Show up fully is what I want you to know, because time is of essence. And I want you to know that your time is precious. And I'm just real glad that you are on here with me, spending a few minutes with me, although this is impromptu. And I want to talk to y'all today on that because it's really been on my heart lately. And something I believe this is going to push you and myself to the next level of our potential. Because honestly, like I said, time is not on our side. We're all moving forward. So why not do it intentionally? So I want to share this a little bit about myself. I remember when I first started trying to show up for my dreams. I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't know how to show up. And even when I didn't feel like I was ready, I still had to do it. I didn't have all the tools, but I still had to show up. I didn't have all the resources. I didn't have the knowledge that I thought I even needed. But I knew that if I kept waiting around for the perfect time, and which is what most of us always do, there is no perfect time. And I didn't have all the answers, but I knew. I needed to just show up. But the more I showed up, y'all, I began to grow and see a difference in myself. Each step, even every little small step that I took, they led to bigger opportunities. And that was this that is the decision to start to show up. And that's what made a big difference. And maybe you felt that way too. Maybe you're thinking you need the perfect moment, the right resources, or some grand entrance or something of a plan to begin. I've been there, and there was that time when I was running out of time. And every day that I waited, I felt like I was losing something. And that was more time in the future for me to experience the blessing that was waiting for me to arrive. And all the time, and I'm thinking about this now, and the time that I could have had with this experience, with me in the experience, my family and I in the experience. All that time is gone, but it's okay. We're changing things so that now we're all going to set ourselves up and realize, listen, I'm starting right now. I am starting right now. And that's what changed everything for me when I realized that the sooner I get started, the sooner I get to explore and experience those blessings. So, um, like I said the other day, I shared that with you guys about starting, starting what with what you have, with where you are. That's a powerful concept, but like I said today, we're taking a step further. And not only do we need to start with what we have, but we got to show up fully. And when I'm saying fully, I don't mean just showing up heartedly or thinking that you could get by with the bare minimum. Go all in right now. I know a lot of people think that they're gonna take the time slow, and I'm gonna just enjoy each moment. Y'all, we're running out of time. Life is not gonna wait for us to catch up for it. It's just not. Why are you running out of time? As we all get older, and I don't need to tell you that. Just look at the calendar and you can see yesterday was January 1st. We often live like we are in endless days, but I want to challenge that thinking for you and myself. We're getting older every day, every moment, and the hesitation it has to stop. We have to stop the hesitation. We've got to take some action, and all we're doing is stealing time from ourselves. If we want to live life we're meant to live, to meet our own needs and create the future that we desire, we can afford to keep dragging our feet. We cannot afford to keep dragging our feet. And you know what the danger is of waiting? I want you to really think about this. Every time you put off, every time you put off what you know you should do, we're just delaying the project, the dream, or the goal, and less time with it. We're also delaying the joy and the fulfillment of the blessings that are waiting for us. If you're not waiting for the permit, if you're not, I'm sorry, I was looking out the window. If you're not waiting for the perfect moment, it's not coming. I'm sorry, if you're waiting for the perfect moment, it's not coming. It's not. What we've learned is the perfect moment is the one where you create the time for you to show up and give it your all. So that show up doesn't have to be planned. That I'm ready doesn't have to be planned. You do it right now. Be intentional and persistent about it. So here's the thing. If we're going to be intentional and persistent about what it is that we're going to accomplish, we get there faster. It's not about going slow, waiting, or doubting. It's about saying, I'm going to start today. I'm going to give it all that I have right now in this moment. I am going to trust that next step will unfold. And it's the same personal growth. When we commit to showing up, when we commit to showing up fully, even when we don't feel like we have enough, even though when we feel like we're not ready, even when we don't understand why we're doing it, why we keep having to do it. We create the momentum. And that's how we get there faster. I remember when I remember when I had to when I had to show up and I didn't know the way. I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. But I just kept showing up every single day with what I had, and it paid off. Opportunity didn't come all at one time. And sometimes I was like, when is something going to happen? When is something going to happen? I just kept doing it. And it came to me piece by piece by piece. And now I'm doing more than I could ever imagine. Y'all, me just sitting here talking to you right now is that I remember one day my husband, we were talking, and I was telling him something that I had saw on Facebook. This is before I really got into using social media as a platform for myself, um, for me to use to reach people. And I told him, I said, man, somebody really needs to get on there and tell people that it's not that bad and they could do better and this, that, and the other. And he looked at me, he said, why don't you do it? And I said, what? Why would these people listen to me? That's what I thought. That's how I was thinking. That's how I was thinking. So I'm glad that I decided not to wait. And I showed up fully. And sometimes me showing up fully, at the time it was like, this is all I can give right now. This is all I can give right now. This is all I can give right now. Right. And then again, you build your own momentum. How do you show up fully right now? Start small, but show up big. And when I say show up fully, I don't mean that you have to have everything figured out or perfect. You start with what you have, give it all you got, get everything that you got right now. Show up as you're already the person you want to be. You know what? I didn't really understand what that meant until a couple of months ago. It's called do be have. We'll talk about that another day. But show up as the person you're already that you want to be. If that means that you don't have the fancy equipment, the perfect plan, that's okay. Just start. Trust me. What you see right now is not how I showed up a year ago. It's not how I showed up 2 years ago. It's not how I showed up 6 months ago, but that's okay. Just start. The effort and energy that you put in that small step will make a bigger impact that just you could ever think. You wouldn't even understand. You're not going to understand until you actually did it. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. Be persistent even when it's hard. Persistence is key. You're gonna face the setbacks, the challenges, days when it feels like nothing is working. Let me tell you, you have no idea. Sometimes people trip me up because they're like, Rosalind, you make it seem so easy. Marge, Rosalind, you make it seem so easy. You should see my desk. I have my planner. I have my gratitude journal. I've got 4 or 5 pens. I had a snagged fingernail, so I've got my fingernail clipper. It's just so much. You think you sometimes you don't. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. But let me tell you this, persistence is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Don't let those small failures and delays stop you and keep you from showing up. Just keep moving forward. That is how success is built. You know what? It's in the evening time. And we didn't have anything going on over here, but I just wasn't ready. And I just said, click the button, and just go. Click the button and go. So even now, me, where I might look like I got it together just a little bit, I don't have it together. I just know I have to keep showing up. That is how success is built. Be intentional with your time. You got to prioritize what matters to you most. And if you want to see the results, y'all, you can't let distractions steal your time. It's very easy. Every minute counts. Schedule a time for your goals. Don't just talk about what you want to do. You got to act on it and take bold actions right now. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the right time. You don't need it. You don't need the right time. You if you're waiting for the right time, you're going to miss out on every opportunity that's right here for you, right in front of you. If you know what you need to do it. Stop waiting. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing that you've been putting off. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be as simple as sending an email, making a phone call, or drafting that plan. Listen, but what I want you to do now is just take some type of action. Show up even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't have everything figured out, even when you're like me, you got everything over your desk and you're like, oh my gosh, can I see this mess? Give it everything that you got and go all in with what you have. Time's ticking. We're not getting any younger. And the longer that we wait, the more time we miss out on. But the great news is this: we have the power to take control of this moment. So let's stop waiting, start moving right now. And before I get off of here, I got to pray with you all because I know that some things, some new things, some good things are going to come out of you right now. Father, bow your heads. Father, I pray that you give everyone here strength to act boldly and the courage to show up fully. Help us to recognize the urgency of this moment and step into the fullness of what you have called us to do. We believe that with your guidance, we can do all things through Christ that strengthen us. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, I want you to put in the comments, what are some of the things that you've been holding that back from? What it looks like if you start today? What if you start today? What will it look like for you? Let me know. Let me know. Guys, I'm telling you, we have so much potential. There's so many things that we could be doing. There's so many things that we could be doing, but we're waiting for the right time. We're waiting to be perfect, and we don't have to be. So, guys, I appreciate you jumping on here today. Do me a favor, tag someone who may need this message, and you start today. Time is of essence. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.